Here are the 9 contestants preparing for tonight's show. They're playing for prize money of up to £50,000, but only one of them will walk away with the money. The rest will leave with nothing, as round by round they're voted off as the weakest link.
Welcome to the weakest link. Any of the 9 people in the studio here tonight could win up to £50,000. They don't know each other, however. If they want the prize money, they'll have to work as a team. But 8 of them will leave with nothing. As round by round we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
My name's Patrick, I'm 33, I'm from West London and I'm an exercise specialist.
I'm Sue, I'm 49, I'm from Northamptonshire and I'm the director of a training company.
I'm Lisa, I'm 20, from Portsmouth and I'm a student.
My name is Alan, I'm 35, from Edinburgh and I'm an actor.
My name is Mike, I'm 40 years old, from Christchurch in Dorset and I'm an airline pilot.
I'm Natasha, I'm 29, I live in Harrogate and I'm a freelance editor.
I'm Jean, I'm 59, I'm from Lytham St Anne's and I'm retired.
My name is Paul, I'm 27, I'm from Sudbury in Suffolk and I'm a medical rep.
I'm Donna, I'm 38 years old, from Stoke Hammond and work for the Milton Keynes Chamber of Commerce.
Now, the rules at each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £5,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. The first round lasts for 3 minutes. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Alan. Let's play the weakest link. The first question is for £100. Start the clock. Alan, in the children's nursery rhyme, how many blind mice were there?
3.
Correct. Mike, in music, which successful UK boy band announced their split in September 2001?
Boyzone.
5. Natasha, in religion, the majority of Christians believe which day of the week to be holy day?
Sunday.
Correct. Jean, in nature, what N is the name of the structure made by birds in which they lay their eggs?
Nest.
Correct. Paul, in geography, Warsaw is the capital of which country?
Poland.
Correct. Donna, in science, what H is the repeating geometric shape in bee honeycombs?
Hexagon.
Correct. Patrick, in which country were Rottweiler dogs originally bred?
Germany.
Correct. Sue, in
Frank.
food, which rice dish coloured and flavoured with saffron originated in the Valencia region of Spain?
Hedgerow.
Paella. Lisa, indulgence in youthful dissipation is often known as sowing one's wild what?
Seeds.
Oats. Alan, in TV, which chef married his longtime sweetheart, Jules Norton, in June 2000?
Jamie Oliver.
Correct. Mike, to which group of flowers does the pansy belong, violet or rose?
Violet.
Correct. Natasha, in food and drink, which fungus is used in brewing?
Yeast.
Correct. Jean, in pop music, which group had a year 2000 UK #1 single with Don't Call Me Baby?
Westlife.
Madison Avenue. Paul, what name is given to the strip of countryside around a town or city on which building is restricted?
Greenbelt.
Correct. Donna, in maths, how many minutes are there in 2.5 hours?
180.
No, 150. Patrick, in nature, what is the general term for a cone-bearing tree, coconut or conifer?
Conifer.
Correct. Sue, which motorway links Leicester and Northampton with London?
M40.
M1. Lisa, what N is a type of high street shop that specialises in selling newspapers and magazines?
Newsagent.
Correct. Alan, in art, fuchsia and crimson are shades of which primary colour?
Red.
Correct. Mike, which actress did Warren Beatty marry in 1992?
Pass.
Annette Bening. Natasha, in geography, which North European capital is famous for its Tivoli Gardens?
Rome.
Copenhagen. Jean, in pop music, which Irish group had a year 2000 UK #1 single with Breathless?
Boyzone.
The Cause. Paul, in biology, what name is commonly given to the condition whereby the face turns red owing to embarrassment, modesty or pleasure?
Blush.
Correct. Donna, in music, which TV character for children had the biggest selling single in 2000 with Can We Fix It?
Bob the Builder.
Correct. Patrick, in the animal kingdom, which is usually larger, a male gorilla or a female gorilla?
Male.
Correct. Sue.
Bank.
In the 2000 film Nutty Professor 2. Time is up. You banked a very unimpressive £2,000 out of a possible £5,000. Who's the caterpillar in your cabbages? Who's the bug in your mug? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
The strongest link statistically is Patrick. The weakest link is Sue, as she failed to answer a single question correctly, but she did bank all the money for the team. Will this be enough to save her at this early stage of the game?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Mike.
Jean.
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 Donna.
Jean.
Sue.
Jean.
Jean.
Alan, what do you do?
I'm an actor. I knew I'd be first. I knew I would be first.
Are you in work?
I'm about to start rehearsals for Panto.
What do you do when you're out of acting work?
I watch daytime TV.
Which one do you do most of? Acting or watching daytime TV?
Watching daytime TV.
So wouldn't it have been better if you said, I'm Alan from Edinburgh and I watch daytime TV?
Well, nobody pays me for that.
Did you pay anyone for that shirt? Why Jean?
Unfortunately, she doesn't know her boy bands. It's a shame, I know, but she doesn't know her
I
boy
bet
bands.
you know your boy bands.
I know my boy bands well.
Donna, what do you do?
I work for the Milton Keynes Chamber of Commerce.
Do you? What do you have to do for them?
I'm a general dog's body. I
Are
do
you?
anything I'm asked to do and enjoy every minute.
And what happens if they ask you to add up or multiply?
Then I use Excel on my spreadsheet and put a formula in.
You use Excel on your spreadsheets.
Yes.
That's how versatile you are. Why Jean?
Unfortunately, she did get her questions wrong and she broke the chain when we're trying to get more money.
Natasha!
Uh-huh.
What do you do?
I'm a freelance editor for a gift magazine.
You're a journalist.
Uh-huh.
Are you a journalist of limited vocabulary?
No, I just think it's safer when responding to your questions, Anne.
Why Jean?
I'm afraid she got 2 questions wrong.
So, Sue, where do you live?
Northamptonshire.
Do you drive?
Yes.
And you think the M40 passes your door, do you? When you're not driving with your eyes shut, what else do you do?
I train people to deal with difficult people.
Generally speaking, how much do they pay to be trained by you?
A very reasonable amount.
How much?
A very reasonable
How
amount.
much?
About 500 to 700 a day.
£500 to £700 a day for Sue in that interesting collection of clothes to teach them how to deal with difficult people. OK, let's pretend I'm a difficult person. What's the first rule?
Be patient.
And the second rule?
Negotiate.
Negotiate what? You've been completely hopeless. I got the price out of you in seconds. Why Jean?
I thought that Jean got some questions wrong and didn't bank.
Well, Sue, statistically, you were the worst player. But it's votes that count. Jean, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I feel very upset and very angry to be voted off first because I wasn't the weakest link. Sue was the weakest link. So I'm not very happy, to be honest.
Round 2, team. So far, you've got £2,000 in the bank out of a possible 5,000. There are 8 of you left. We are now taking 10 seconds off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Patrick. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Patrick, in history, which knight is famously said to have placed his coat in a puddle for Queen Elizabeth I to walk on?
Sir Francis Drake.
Sir Walter Raleigh. Sue, in geography, the main square in Venice is named after which saint?
St. Peter.
Mark. Lisa, in entertainment, what's the name of the former dancer who married Paul Daniels in 1988?
Debbie McGee.
Correct, Alan. In cricket, which country did Richie Beno represent at international level?
Australia.
Correct, Mike. In literature, which dramatist wrote The Comedy of Errors?
Shakespeare.
Correct. Natasha, which small alpine flower was the subject of a Rodgers and Hammerstein song in the film musical The Sound of Music?
Edelweiss.
Correct, Paul. On TV, which programme won the Best Soap Award at the 2001 British Soap Awards?
EastEnders.
Correct, Donna.
Bank.
In golf, at which English course was the Open Championship held in July 2001?
Belfry.
No, Royal Lytham and St Anne's. Patrick, in maths, what is 1/3 of 480?
160.
Correct. Sue, in the animal kingdom, as what are mammals classified? Warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
Warm-blooded.
Correct. Lisa, which female singer and rapper had UK top 10 singles with the songs Buffalo Stance and Manchild?
Missy Elliott.
No, Nana Cherry. Alan, in which sport does Audley Harrison participate professionally?
Boxing.
Correct, Mike. In fashion, what D is a type of decoration on clothes and accessories consisting of diamond-like glittering particles?
Diamante.
Correct. Natasha, which Southwest football club is nicknamed the Pilgrims owing to the history of its town?
Portsmouth.
Plymouth Argyle. Paul, in the animal kingdom, when does a badger hunt, by day or by night?
By night.
Correct. Donna, in food, which vegetable is commonly known as a spud?
Potato.
Correct. Patrick,
Frank.
in a game of polo, how many players participate at any one time, 8 or 28?
8.
Correct. Sue, ophthalmology is a branch of medicine specialising in which organs of the body?
The eyes.
Correct. Lisa, in religion, according to the New Testament, who was the mother of Jesus?
Mary.
Correct. Alan.
Bank.
In food, from which country do black bean sauce and oyster sauce originate?
China.
Correct. Mike, Colorado is a popular ski area in which continent, Europe or North America?
North America.
Correct. Natasha, in which part of the human body is the gluteus maximus, the largest and most powerful muscle?
Top of the leg, the buttocks.
Correct. Paul, in pop music, which boy band had a UK #1 single with When the Going Gets Tough?
Boyzone.
Correct. Donna, in nature, which part of a mute swan is coloured orange and black, bill or feet?
Bill.
Correct. Patrick, according to the common expression, if you think something is appetising or delicious, which parts of your body do you smack?
Backside.
The correct answer is lips. And in that round, you managed to put into the kitty £3,000 out of a possible 5,000. But whose elastic has snapped? Whose zip has broken? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
In a reversal of fortune, Patrick is now the weakest link as he got the most answers wrong. The strongest link is Alan, but will the other players consider the statistics as they cast their votes?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Donna.
Patrick.
Natasha.
Lisa.
Natasha.
Sue.
Natasha.
Patrick.
Mike, what do you do?
I'm an airline pilot.
And you have to make decisions in a split second?
Yep.
So why did it take you nearly half an hour to decide that William Shakespeare wrote Comedy of Errors?
I wanted to make sure I got it right.
And what did Natasha do to upset you?
It was the one I remembered about the football. Plymouth and Portsmouth, I think the answer was.
So, because she doesn't know something about football, you're voting her off?
Essentially.
Paul, what do you do?
I'm a medical rep.
Got any qualifications?
Yeah, I've got a degree in science.
Oh,
so...
you've got a degree?
Yeah.
What sort of degree?
Zoology, Anne.
And where have you got a degree from?
Aberystwyth in Wales.
Good heavens, that's a lethal combination. Why Natasha?
It was just because she's quite close to me. It's the one I noticed the most, Anne.
Lisa, what do you do?
I'm a student.
Are you? What are you studying?
I'm studying musicology.
Oh, really? What's that all about?
It's the study of music without doing any performing or composing.
So what's the point of it?
It's very interesting.
Why Natasha?
Because she doesn't know Plymouth from Portsmouth, and that's a grave sin.
And where do you come from?
Portsmouth.
Do you think she was the weakest link?
Probably.
Of course she wasn't, was she, Patrick? Statistically, Patrick, who, when he's really enjoying himself, smacks his backside, was the weakest link, but it's votes that count. Natasha, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't go through to a couple of the later rounds, but just relieved that I didn't get a vote off the first round. They're probably going to have their eye on Patrick now, so I should imagine he's probably a likely culprit to actually be voted off next, so he's going to have to perform quite well in the next round.
Round 3. And out of a possible £10,000, you have in the bank £5,000. You're down to 7 players, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round, that's Alan. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Alan, which 1985 Steven Spielberg film was nominated for 11 Oscars but ended up winning none?
The colour purple.
Correct. Mike, which type of music from the 1970s would you associate with pogo dancing, disco or punk?
Punk.
Correct. Paul, in the House of Commons, the 2 corridors into which MPs retire in order to vote are known as the division what?
Chamber.
Lobbies. Donna, in medicine, the popular name for the tingling sensation that accompanies the recovery of feeling in a limb is pins and what?
Needles.
Correct. Patrick, in which region of Italy have Tony Blair and his family spent several summer holidays?
Sardinia.
Tuscany. Sue, in food and drink, what beverage is traditionally stored in a caddy?
Tea.
Correct. Lisa, what bee is a quartet of male voices singing in close harmony, usually without accompaniment?
Barbershop.
Correct. Alan, in geography, the mountain Monte Rosa is on the border between Switzerland and which other country?
Italy.
Correct. Mike, in football, which Premiership club play their home games at Upton Park?
West Ham United.
Correct.
Bank.
Paul, in the animal kingdom, what is a skink, a lizard or a mouse?
A lizard.
Correct. Donna, in dentistry, what term is used for any material, such as amalgam or gold, inserted into the cavity of a tooth in order to halt decay?
Filling.
Correct. Patrick, in sport, which first name is shared by the athletes Cram and Ovett?
Steve.
Correct. Sue, in nature, the flowers of the shrub Forsythia are normally what colour?
Yellow.
Correct. Lisa,
Bank.
in the Tolkien book The Lord of the Rings, what is the name of the creatures who look like trees and have lost their wives, Ents or Orcs?
Ents.
Correct. Alan, what name is given to the seaside confection that traditionally has writing through its centre?
Rock.
Correct. Mike, in the animal kingdom, the okapi is a relative of which other animal, zebra or giraffe?
Zebra.
No, giraffe. Paul, in art, what name is given to the style of painting seen in the works of Monet and Renoir?
Modernist.
Impressionist. Donna, in the nursery rhyme Ride a Cock Horse to Banbury Cross, what did the fine lady have on her toes?
Bells.
Correct. Patrick, in the Braille alphabet, what is the maximum number of dots used to portray any single letter, 5 or 6?
6.
5. Sue, Queen Marie Antoinette is often credited with saying, let them eat what?
Cake.
Correct. Lisa, in geography, the Bermuda Triangle is an area in which ocean?
Pacific.
Atlantic. Alan, in which decade was the actress Dame Judi Dench born?
40s.
30s. Mike. Time is up. And you won £2,000. But who now is making Simple Simon look very clever indeed? It's time to vote on the weakest link.
For the second round in a row, Patrick is the weakest link. The statistics show that Sue is the strongest link. But will the other players pick up on that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Paul.
Patrick.
Paul.
Patrick.
Paul.
Patrick.
Patrick.
Sue, why Patrick?
I think Patrick got a couple of questions wrong and we didn't get the money as well.
Alan, heard of Judi Dench, have you?
Yes, I have heard of Judi Dench.
You just thought she looked much younger. Why Patrick?
He got too many wrong, simple as that.
Patrick, statistically, you were the worst player, and with 4 votes, the team obviously want to see the backside of you. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
To be voted off at this stage is disappointing, but I felt that my performance could have been better. I think Paul will be voted off next. He's getting a little bit more nervous, he's getting questions wrong, and the stakes are a little bit higher.
Round 4 so far, you've banked £7,000 out of potential prize money of £15,000. There are 6 of you left. We are taking another 10 seconds off your time. You now have just 2.5 minutes. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Sue. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Sue, in history, Montezuma was the last emperor of which Central American ancient civilization?
Mexico.
No, Aztecs. Lisa, in art, the famous Sir Edwin Landseer painting of a stag is called the monarch of the what?
Glen.
Correct, Alan. At which royal palace in London is there a raven master?
The Tower of London.
Correct, Mike. In language, if a person is described as supine, what is he doing, standing on his head or lying on his back?
Lying on his back.
Correct, Paul. In the animal kingdom, sheep and Norway are both types of which rodent?
Rat.
Correct. Donna, what name is given to an establishment concentrating on social skills at which some upper-class girls complete their education?
Finishing school.
Correct, Sue.
Bank.
In pop music, the punk group The Undertones had a 1978 UK hit single with the song Teenage what?
Rebel.
Kicks. Lisa, what name is given to the alternative healing art of massaging the reflex points on hands and feet?
Reflexology.
Correct, Alan. Which 1990 Kevin Costner film featured the characters Stands with a fist and wind in his hair?
Dances with Wolves.
Correct, Mike. In fashion, in which country was the designer Calvin Klein born?
American.
Correct,
Bank.
Paul. In literature, which member of the Mitford family wrote Love in a Cold Climate?
Robert.
Nancy. Donna, in maths, how many sides in total do 3 pentagons have?
15.
Correct. Sue, which female author writes about the medical examiner Kay Scarpetta?
Pass.
Patricia Cornwall. Lisa, which Scottish actor and Bond star was knighted in 2000?
Sean Connery.
Correct, Alan. Which charity administers over 240,000 hectares of the British countryside?
Oxfam.
National Trust. Mike, which comedian took over from Nick Hancock as host of the TV programme Room 101?
Paul Merton.
Correct. Paul, in pop music, which British group released an album called We Love Life in October 2001? Blur or Pulp?
Pulp.
Correct. Donna, which Australian Aboriginal weapon can be thrown so that it returns to near its starting point?
Boomerang.
Correct, Sue.
Bank.
In American politics, which 20th century president had the first name James Earl?
Hoover.
Time is up. The correct answer is Carter. And you banked £2,500, but who is now swimming against the current? Who clearly is not the brightest crayon in the box? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Statistically, Donna is the strongest link. Sue is now the weakest link as she didn't answer a single question correctly. Will her previous good performance be enough to save her?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Alan.
Alan.
Lisa.
Sue.
Lisa.
Alan.
Donna. Why, Alan?
It was that Oxfam. That's the one that did it.
Explain.
Well, I don't think they look after the countryside. The last I looked, I think that's where he got his shirt from.
Lisa. Why, Alan?
It's getting personal now. He's voted for me twice.
Fair enough. Alan, the actor, with 3 votes. It's back to daytime TV. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm mad as hell to be voted off the weakest link at this stage because I only got 2 questions wrong throughout the whole game, and it's the beginnings, it's the rumblings of a takeover by the women. I think it'll be Paul that'll be voted off next, purely because he's a bloke and the women are starting their shenanigans.
Round 5, team. Your total so far is 9,500. If you'd hit your targets, it would be £20,000. There are 5 of you left. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Donna. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Donna, in the Channel Islands, which author and naturalist founded Jersey Zoo?
Gerald Durrell.
Correct. Sue, in the year 2000 film Bedazzled, which actress and model played the part of the devil?
Liz Hurley.
Correct. Lisa, in literature, the Hemingway novel For Whom the Bell Tolls is set during which war?
World War I.
Spanish Civil War. Mike, which Austrian artist painted The Kiss in 1908?
Bulk.
Klimt. Paul, for which pop group was Night Fever a UK #1 single in 1978?
The Bee Gees.
Correct. Donna, in Greek mythology, which fearsome creature lived in a labyrinth on the island of Crete?
The Minotaur.
Correct. Sue, in the animal kingdom, what name is given to a stag with 12 or more points on its antlers?
I don't know.
Royal. Lisa, which international language was devised in 1887?
Morse code.
Esperanto. Mike, in science, if the positive end of a battery is called the anode, what is the negative end called?
Cathode.
Correct. Paul, in geometry, 2 equal hemispheres together make one whole what?
Sphere.
Correct. Donna, in 1977, which jubilee was celebrated by Queen Elizabeth II?
Silver.
Correct. Sue, in medicine, what name is given to the room in a hospital in which surgical operations are performed?
Theatre.
I'll accept operating theatre. Lisa, which lasagna-eating cartoon cat was created by Jim Davis?
Top Cat.
Garfield. Mike, what's the name of the horticultural park built on the site of a former clay pit in St Austell, Cornwall?
Biosphere.
No, the Eden Project. Paul, in the rules of golf, which part of the course shall be 108 millimetres in diameter and at least 100 millimetres deep?
The Hole.
Correct. Donna, the 3 colours of the Jamaican flag are green, black and which other?
Gold.
Yellow, but I'll accept gold. Sue, by what name is the University of Paris more commonly known?
The Sorbonne.
Correct. Lisa, what is the face value of the current UK coin that has the 3 ostrich feathers of the badge of the Prince of Wales on the reverse?
£1.
No, 2p. Mike, in which 1941 animated film does a group of crows sing When I See an Elephant Fly? Time is up. The correct answer, Mike, is Dumbo. And in that round, you went right down the drain, team. You managed to put in the bank just £1,000. I urge you, banish the bird brain, eject the idiot, waste the witless. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Donna is the strongest link statistically. The weakest link is Lisa, as she didn't get any questions right. But whose game is over?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Lisa.
Mike.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Mike.
Paul, keen on the Bee Gees, are you?
I love them. It's just so groovy, eh?
Can you sing?
Sing like an angel.
Just give me an example of your talents as a singer, Paul.
Do you like Top Loader, Anne?
Anything.
Okay. Goodbye.
Okay, why Lisa? Why Lisa? You've voted for her twice now.
Unfortunately, the first time I was confused. I sometimes suffer from temporary amnesia.
Was that how you chose to do zoology at Aberystwyth? Why Lisa?
Because, unfortunately, Lisa got some quite awful questions that round, and it did stand out, I'm afraid, and that's why.
Mike, is it true what they say about airline pilots?
Absolutely.
What do they say about airline pilots?
So they fly a lot, Anne.
Anything else?
Nothing else I've heard.
Why Lisa?
She got 2 questions wrong, and that left me with nothing to bank a couple of times.
OK, well, Lisa, time to face the music. Statistically, you were the worst player. And with 3 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I was doing quite well. I had really good round the round before, but that round I was just so unlucky with the questions. I think Sue's been quite lucky up till now. Maybe they'll vote her off next. We'll have to wait and see.
Round 6, and out of a possible £25,000, you have got 10,500. There are 4 of you left. We are cutting another 10 seconds from your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Donna. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Donna, in maths, what is 186 minus 99?
85.
87, Donna. Sue, in nature, the more romantic name for the plant Nigella is love in a what?
Love in a mist.
Correct. Mike, which foreign footballer who plays for Arsenal famously refuses to travel by plane?
Dennis Bergkamp.
Correct. Paul, the seasonal alteration of clocks between spring and autumn is known as British what?
Is daytime saving.
Summertime. Donna, in which South American country are La Plata and Cordoba major cities?
Mexico.
Argentina. Sue, which sport do the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders play professionally?
American football.
Correct. Mike, in which English county is Alton Towers Amusement Park?
Staffordshire.
Correct. Paul, according to the proverb, necessity is the mother of what?
Wit.
Invention. Donna, in military history, what forename was used by the American frontiersman Colonel Crockett?
Colonel Davy Crockett.
Correct. Sue, in TV, what is the name given to the unresolved conclusions typically featured at the end of episodes of soap operas?
Cliffhangers.
Correct. Mike,
Bank.
in pop music, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant were members of which British rock band?
Led Zeppelin.
Correct. Paul, in astrology, which star sign falls between the signs of Pisces and Taurus?
Sagittarius.
No, Aries. Donna, in history, at the Battle of Waterloo, who had a horse called Copenhagen?
Can't remember.
The Duke of Wellington. Sue, in theatre, with which English university is the Footlights Club associated?
Cambridge.
Correct. Mike, which traditional loaf of bread consists of one small portion on top of a larger portion?
Cobb.
No, cottage loaf. Paul, in the early days of British TV, what kind of puppet animal was Muffin?
A mule.
Correct. Donna, the name of the circus company Cirque du Soleil translates into English as the circus of what?
Sun.
Correct. Sue,
Bank.
in football, who played in goal for England in the World Cup qualifier? Time is up. Just £500, a disappointing amount. Whose IQ now matches their shoe size? It's time to get rid of the weakest link.
As the only player to answer all her questions correctly, Sue is the strongest link. The weakest link statistically is Paul. But what factors will the other players take into account as they vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Mike.
Paul.
Donna.
Paul.
Mike, do you want the girls to yourself?
Absolutely.
Any other reason for voting for Paul?
He got too wrong and he started to become a little bit hesitant on his answers.
Donna, why Paul?
He got them wrong, and also I had no money left to bank when it got to it, and that's at the end of the day what's important.
Well, aren't you lucky that Sue hasn't voted for you on the same basis? Paul, what can we say? Statistically, you were the worst player. Your singing voice is terrible. With 2 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
To be voted off now, you know, when I can always smell that money, is particularly disappointing. I feel let down by my fellow gent. We should have both voted tactfully and voted off one of the women. I think the next person to be voted off is going to be Donna. I think the gaps in her general knowledge now become too wide.
Round 17. You've won so far £11,000 out of a possible 30,000. There are 3 of you left. Another 10 seconds coming off your time. We start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Sue. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Sue, who was the English-born director of the 1999 film The Talented Mr. Ripley?
I don't know.
Anthony Minghella. Mike, in a Punch and Judy show, what is the name of the dog belonging to Mr. Punch?
Pass.
Toby. Donna, a busker who plays a large number of musical instruments attached to his person is known as a one-man what?
Band.
Correct. Sue, the Jerome K. Jerome novel, 3 Men in a Boat, is set on which river?
Mississippi.
Thames. Mike, in brewing, oast houses were traditionally used to dry malt and which other plant?
Barley.
Hops. Donna, in dining etiquette, to which side of a place setting is the main course knife usually laid from the perspective of the diner?
To their left.
To their right, Donna. Sue, in history, England was invaded by which people in the late 8th century?
Vikings.
Correct. Mike, a reef, a bowline and a sheepshank are all types of what?
Knots.
Correct. Donna, in literature, the mystery writers of America have an annual award called the Edgar, named after which famous author?
Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Edgar Allan Poe. Sue, which country in the UK has the national anthem Land of My Fathers?
Wales.
Correct. Mike, in history, the ancient Pilgrim's Way ran between Canterbury and which other cathedral city?
Chichester.
Winchester. Donna, in the animal kingdom, which short-tailed waterbird is famous for being bald?
Eagle.
Good. Sue, in the home entertainment, for what do the letters VCR stand?
Video cassette recorder.
Correct. Mike, in sport, which city was the first in North America to host the modern Olympics?
Washington.
No, St. Louis. Donna, which actor reprised his role as Dr. Alan Grant in the 2001 film Jurassic Park 3?
Richard Attenborough.
Sam Neill. Sue, in which century was the novelist Charlotte Bronte born? Time's up. The correct answer, which I don't think was on the tip of your tongue, is the 19th century. And in that round, you managed to put into your kitty a pathetic £100. Now, in round 8, you get the chance to treble what you bank, which means potentially there's £15,000 to be won. The question is, who are you going to hang on to? Who are you going to get rid of? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
At this late stage in the game, Sue is statistically the strongest link for the 3rd time. The weakest link is Donna, and Mike was the only player to bank any money for the team. But who will the players want out in this final vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Donna.
Sue.
Mike.
We have a 3-way tie, team, 1 vote each. Sue, why Donna?
I think because she's furthest away from me.
Mike, why Sue?
Because I think Donna's the strongest player. I didn't come here to tactically vote, and I think she should go through to the head-to-head.
Oh, so you're as nice as you look.
Thank you.
Donna, don't like good-looking airline pilots.
I do, but I'd like them to come hand in hand with money.
Well, when the vote's tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. Sue, as the strongest link, would you like to get rid of Donna, or are you going to change your vote and get rid of Mike?
I'm going to get rid of Mike because he voted for me.
Mike, the girls are going to go face to face. They're knocking you out. It's time for you to fly off. You are the weakest link. Bye.
It was obviously a bit of a crippler to be voted off in a three-way tie in the last round. I was a little disappointed in Sue for changing her mind, having voted the other way. But I think Donna will win because she has consistently showed that she's got a very broad general knowledge.
Round 8. So far, you've won £11,100 out of a possible £35,000. Sue and Donna, 2 of you left, and you have 90 seconds. But whatever you win in this round will be trebled and added to your total to make up your final prize money. So £15,000 is at stake in this round. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Sue. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Sue, in geography, with which country does Germany share its longest border?
France.
Austria. Donna, which Hollywood star became the Princess of Monaco?
Grace Kelly.
Correct, Sue. The Atlantic islands of Madeira are part of which country?
Portugal.
Correct. Donna, what's the name of the cartoonist famous for his depictions of fat, wayward ponies and their young riders?
Schultz.
No, Thelwell. Sue, in food, what is the main fruit ingredient used to make Tabasco sauce?
Tomatoes.
Pepper. Donna, in sport, in 1997, which Brazilian footballer had an honorary knighthood conferred upon him?
Pele.
Correct, Sue.
Bank.
Which BBC national radio station aimed at young audiences first began broadcasting in 1967?
Radio 1.
Correct, Donna. In the USA, which internationally renowned newspaper was launched in 1851?
New York Times.
Correct, Sue.
Bank.
In literature, which fictional detective has a close friend called Captain Hastings?
Hercule Poirot.
Correct, Donna. In sport, in which decade was tennis player Pete Sampras born?
60s.
70s. Sue, which artist is famous for his posters and paintings of scenes from the Moulin Rouge?
Pass.
Toulouse-Lautrec. Donna, in pop music, Simon Le Bon is the lead singer of which pop group formed in 1978?
Duran Duran.
That is the correct answer, but you are out of time, and between you in that round, you won £700, which will treble and add to the winnings from the previous rounds. That means prize money tonight of £13,200, but of course only one of you can take that money away. Now you will be playing against each other head to head. I'll ask alternate questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. It's as simple as that. If there's a tie after 5 questions, we'll go for sudden death until we have a winner. So Sue and Donna for £13,200. Let's play the weakest link. Donna, as the strongest link in the last round, you have the choice of who goes first.
I'll go first, Anne.
Donna, in the Royal Navy, daily rations of which spirit were withdrawn in 1970?
Rum.
That is the correct answer. Sue, in the nursery rhyme, as I was going to St Ives, how many wives did the man have?
7.
That is the correct answer. Donna, in biology, which vitamin enables the body to absorb the chemicals necessary to make teeth and bones?
D.
That is the correct answer. Sue, which word of Texan origin, meaning a stray animal without a brand, was the title of a comedy western TV series starring James Garner?
Maverick.
That is the correct answer. Donna, in literature, what was the nationality of the 19th century writer Honoré de Balzac?
Don't know.
Correct answer is French. Sue, In the mythology of which ancient civilization did the gods live on Mount Olympus?
Greek.
That is the correct answer. Donna, in pop music, which male solo singer performed a set called Swing When You're Winning at the Royal Albert Hall in October 2001?
Robbie Williams.
That is the correct answer. Sue, in Britain, which archbishop crowns the sovereign?
Canterbury.
That is the correct answer. Donna, you need to answer this question correctly, or else Sue goes home with the money. Which teetotaler began a career as a travel agent in 1841 after leasing a train to take temperance supporters on a day trip?
Phileas Fogg.
No, the correct answer is Thomas Cook. That means, Sue, you are tonight's strongest link, and you go away with £13,200. Donna, you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link.
If I'd had Donna's questions, the result would be the same.
For it to change at the head-to-head and to think you're going to win and then not to. In my mind, I was spending the money. And it's like, I've lost a purse full of that money.